Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the Not Move podcast. I am the Dollface Gremlin here with my favorites, as always, Mr. Coach Common, our good friend Kody, and our resident Baltimore's finest Bagg. Coach, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, man. How's everybody out there, baby? Just because football season's over don't mean not move stops, man. We do everything. We do all
That's
season
right.
and we do during the season.
That's right. Kody, how you doing, my friend? Thank you for joining us today.
Of course, man. Just having a blessed day. It's Sunday. Glad we get to talk about what all of our teams did and some of the other teams in our division did this offseason. So
Yeah, facts, facts. And of course, we've got Baltimore's finest with us, our resident Raven fan, Mr. Bagg. Bagg, how you doing today, sir? I know Bagg was experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties with his microphone, so we'll let him work that out. He'll let us know. So we'll just go ahead and get into it, guys. It's the offseason 2026 for the NFL, the AFC North, our favorite teams, of course. All our supporters. Unfortunately, we don't have representatives right now for the Bengals or Browns, but we can pick those guys up because I'm sure we'll do a draft preview show before we get into the draft. But for right now, let's start with the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals seem to be the only team that did not change coaches this year, huh? Um,
yeah, surprising.
weird.
Yeah,
That
Probably the
I
one
think.
that deserved to the most.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
that's
Coach and
what's
I.
crazy.
I think Coach, you and I said in one of our Steel Curtain shows, we wouldn't be surprised to see all four coaches get the boot, huh?
Yeah,
I
I thought I thought it was gonna be a complete I thought it was
overhaul.
gonna be a
Yeah,
clean sweep. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a clean sweep. I thought that all, especially once Tomlin, I already knew Stefanski was gone. But
I knew. Yeah,
once Tomlin stepped down, I said, "Oh shit, we're about to have, we're about to have. I mean, all four new head coaches in the division all at one time. When they're all gonna start in the same year."
I'm honestly shocked. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, if you're looking at all the coaches, yes, I know the three of us wanted Tomlin gone. I know Bagg up there wanted Harbaugh gone. But if anyone deserved to be fired in that division, it was more than likely Zach Taylor. Like the guy has just made boneheaded decision after boneheaded decision, and he's the last one standing, which is insane.
You know
Yeah,
what?
Zach.
I think after Tomlin stepped down, I think there's two things I think that saved him. Right? There's two things. One is I think after Tomlin stepped down, they're like, well, hey, hold on. We got the most consistency in our fucking locker room right now. Because those three already got rid of their coaches. So like I think if we're gonna do anything, it might be this year because we're the most consistent right now. We got the most consistency. Right?
Yeah,
That's one reason. And the other reason is he got that manila envelope. That manila envelope. What's inside those manila envelopes saves jobs. It
he's
saves
holding that
jobs. And
Super
which
Bowl run. He's holding that
he,
Super
he's
Bowl
holding,
run high above
he's
their
holding,
heads.
he's got them pictures and that tape or whatever somebody did. And that's hey, it worked for Marvin Lewis for how many years?
That's true. We know the
It worked for
Bengals have a bad
Marvin Lewis for how
reputation
many years?
Yeah,
Marvin had that manila envelope. Every time they called Marvin to the office, he came in with that. Hey, did
he
the
threw it on the
mailman come
desk.
yesterday? Yeah,
He threw it on the
he like
desk.
he threw it on the desk. Like, yo, did the mailman come today? Did the mailman come yet? No, I mean it's throwing that hint out there, like, hey, don't make me drop this in the mail.
So
and I think the weirdest part about the Bengals not getting rid of their head coach, and good for him for retaining the job still, but they also kept their defensive coordinator Al Golden on board, which
which makes no sense.
yeah, given last two seasons alone, the best defense I believe they had was what we can all agree was the Super Bowl run,
The
I would
Super Bowl
say.
defense. It was,
Yeah, the
I
Super
believe, it
Bowl
was.
defense.
If it wasn't in the top 10, it was just outside of it. Correct?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I
pretty
believe
sure it
so.
was either at top
Who
10
are
or
you
just
referring to?
outside. The Bengals Super Bowl defense. Thank you for joining us, Bags. How you doing today,
There
my
What's up,
you
friend?
go,
Bag?
Bags back. What's up,
Gang,
baby?
gang. Who you talking about, Cody?
The Bengals, that Super Bowl defense, wasn't it in the top
Yeah,
10 or just outside of it?
12.
12, yeah, just
12,
outside,
yeah.
but
So
okay.
just I mean, an above average defense, like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the and what's crazy is everybody harped on that offensive line, right? That offensive line was damn near dead last. They were really bad. And since then, the offensive line, while marginally, has gotten better than that line. The defense has steadily gotten worse.
Yes,
yeah, and you could say
yes.
that maybe they improved in 2022, sort of, but after that, 2023 was a drop off year for this defense, complete drop off year. That's when you started seeing the trends of what they have been doing the last three seasons. It started in 2023. Now, the thing is too, so they replaced a lot of coaches here.
Yep.
Their offensive coordinator is now Dan Pitcher.
Okay.
Um, Al Golden is still there, obviously, but assistant head coach and as special teams is Darren Simmons. Now, the other coaching staff members they have are Davis Coder, he's for the AC for the wide receivers, Jerry Montgomery, defensive line run game coordinator, Mike Hodge for the linebackers coach, James Casey elevated to tight ends and run game coordinator. So they retained him and just bumped him up a little bit, which I'm going to be honest with you, that seems like a good move given their running backs and tight ends have not played actually that bad. That's one of the bright spots that we've been
It
seeing
is.
from the Bengals. But other names we can note here. But I think really, Cody, I want to ask you first. The free agency pieces are
Yeah.
what we've kind of seen here. So go ahead and
So
let us know what the Bengals have done a little
yeah.
bit.
So the Bengals, the guys they let walk. Obviously, we will definitely touch more on this guy when we get to Bagg and the Ravens. Trey Hendrickson is gone. They also let Joseph Asai walk on a 3-year deal to the Jets, and then Noah Fant to the Saints. Marco Wilson to the Dolphins. Geno Stone is gone as he's now in Buffalo, and Jake Browning is gone out of their quarterback room. Now bringing in, they did replace a few of these guys, right? Brian Cook is here from Kansas City. He's a very good safety. I think really underrated. Boye Mafe just won a Super Bowl. We all talk about Super Bowl tax, right? He got Super Bowl tax, a 3-year, $60 million deal with 19 mil of that guaranteed. Cook's deal was a 3-year, $40 million deal with 14 of that guaranteed. And then they brought in Jonathan Allen up front on the D line on a 2-year, $26 million deal, nothing guaranteed. And then Josh Johnson was brought in on a 1-year deal to be the backup to Joe Burrow should he get hurt. Now, they do still have some guys that are still out there on the market for them. Flacco, Cordell Volson, Lucas Patrick, Cam Taylor-Britt, which is one that surprises me. He's been one of their bright spots on defense despite being a bad defense. I am pretty shocked that he hasn't either A, returned to the building or been picked up by another team. Cam Sample, Brian Asamoah, and Tyson Anderson are also still on the market for Cincinnati.
Well, there you go. Now, what about newbies in the building? What do we got for the biggest newbie that the Bengals have acquired so far? Who's our big buck that the Bengals went out to get?
I would say it's Mafe. It's either Mafe or Brian Cook.
Yeah.
It's got to be one of those two because both of those have been pretty lackluster. I know Trey Hendrickson had the big year 2 years ago, but last year he was A, not on the field, and B, when he was on the field, I think it was 1A that I heard say this on the Not Move podcast live. He said he wasn't a consistent player. He came up and made the big play every now and then, but Cincinnati doesn't need the big play every now and then. They need a consistent play. And Brian Cook is definitely going to help out what has been an abysmal secondary for that Cincinnati defense. They've been beat a lot over the top. So I think those are your two big bucks for them.
I also want to touch on Josh Johnson since they lost
I
Browning in free
understand that.
agency. Josh Johnson's
I
probably
agree
going to be
with
the
that because
backup
I mean
for Joe Burrow
not
there.
as much on Trey
Um,
Hendricks
and
take.
of
I
course,
think as
Allen
long
and
as he's on the
Mafe, I think
field
that's very good for their defensive
majority of the
line. It
games,
helps kind of
which
replace Trey Hendrickson.
is most
And
likely
even
more
so,
than not
last year, Trey
because
Hendrickson really wasn't there that
he's
much,
been
so we can't
relatively
point to
healthy since
last
he's been
season
with
as
Cincinnati.
showing how dominant he could be. But the previous two, 17 and a half sacks, obviously they're going to miss that. Hopefully they make
Yep.
up some of this. But
I mean,
coach,
that was
with these additions on the Bengals, you see it's
the
primarily
big domino
defensive focused, which is
that
what
we
they
got
need. What are
in
you
free
looking
agency.
at? Is out of these two,
Because
Allen,
I
Mafe,
ain't gonna lie, it
and I
was
mean
kind of
Cook, the
upsetting to see a
defense is
couple
starting to
people
look a
go
little bit more
because they're
stout, isn't it?
likely, in particular.
I mean, it's looking a little bit better. Oh, is that Bagg? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right.
No, I don't
I'm
know
just
about
making sure.
Gremlin. I don't know if he said anything.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, Gremlin was talking that whole time.
Yeah, because you and Gremlin were talking at the same time. I'm like, can Bagg hear us? Or can Gremlin hear Bagg? I'm like, I know either one of y'all can, because both of y'all were talking like neither one of y'all can hear the other. That's why I
No,
was
I
making
definitely
sure.
cannot hear Bagg right now at all. So,
Oh yeah,
Okay,
I
see.
can't hear.
so
I
Mr.
can't hear
Bagg,
Gremlin.
let me
That's
try
why
this again. Let's try this again. Why don't you
I
go
can
off
hear
since we can't
you
hear each
and
other?
Cody. I can't hear Gremlin. Let me drop
Yeah,
down and come
see, he
back.
can't.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
said
see, he
you
can't.
can go ahead. He said you can go ahead, Bagg.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, go
no,
ahead.
I still want to be able to
Go
hear
ahead,
him, so
Bagg.
I'm
What
gonna
you
drop
got?
out. I'm gonna drop down and come right back.
Okay. All right. We have a little
Yeah,
bit of
that's cool.
technical
All right, he's gonna
difficulty.
drop down and come back. He said.
Yeah, I
So,
figured
We're
that.
having,
yeah,
yo,
Coach, you want to talk about
we're having
what
we're having
Cincinnati's been
technical
doing in the off
difficulty.
season?
Yeah, we're having technical difficulty in the background too.
Oh,
Because
I can't hear Coach now.
what?
See, Coach, I can hear you. That
I
seems
can't
like
hear
a
anybody
Cody
now.
problem.
And now
Hold
So,
Cody
on.
so
can't. And now Cody can't hear. We're having
well,
technical
either way, Coach
difficulties
and I'll
here.
run this for a little bit. Coach, this is a perfect segue
Yeah.
into our next team here in the AFC North while we figure out our problems. The AFC North, we have a big addition coaching wise for the Browns. I know you wanted to touch upon it, so I'm just going to let you go off, Coach. Why don't you go ahead and talk about that new defensive coordinator?
Yes. Well, listen, I'm gonna tell you this right here. The one thing that noticed that stood out to me was the hire of Dom Capers. Okay, for those out there who don't know who Dom Capers is, Dom Capers was the mind and the engineer of Blitzburg in the 90s. Right? When we had that dominating secondary, that dominating defense with Greg Lloyd, Kevin Green, Levon Kirkland, Rob Woodson, Darren Perry, Deion Figures. When we had them Marion Bell, Chad Brown, Greg Lloyd, Casey Hampton. When we had that team and we were Blitzburg, Dom Capers was the orchestrator of Blitzburg. So I'm looking at Dom Capers. I hold him in high regard, like Dick LeBeau, as one of the defensive guru of football. And I'm gonna tell you this: with that already nice defense, you have Dom Capers over there. And now the hire was he's an assistant defensive coordinator. That's what the hire says, right? So if they're allowing him to implement defensive blitz packages
Oof.
and defensive schemes with that defense they got over there, listen, I'm not about to lie. That could definitely be that could definitely be a fucking problem. That could definitely be a problem. A
Yeah, and
huge problem.
just to put it into perspective, Coach, he's been serving as a senior defensive assistant for Carolina since 2023. And I don't know if anybody's noticed that defense has gotten better. Before that, he
Been a lot
was
better.
senior defensive assistant for the Broncos in 2022. You just see his mark everywhere. So, yeah, the new head coach of the Browns, obviously, Todd Monken, sounds like he knows what he's doing, bringing in the right personnel to help.
Listen, like I said, Don Capers was the orchestrator of Blitzburg. When I heard that they had hired him with the already defense that they have, and then now you put that, it's like it's like putting Wolfgang Puck in a kitchen with all the ingredients he needs in the world. You know what I mean? Like all the ingredients he needs, and now you just needed the chef, and now you put Wolfgang Puck in your kitchen. So it's like no, so it's like yo, if they allow him, if they listen to that man, if they know what I know, they'll listen to that man and allow that man to have input in their scheme and in their game plan. And I'm telling you, you could definitely see a huge difference in the defense with Dom Capers, input in their
And
scheme.
Monken looks like he has a plan too. I've seen Todd Monken has been very high on both quarterbacks that Cleveland has in house, Deshaun and Shador. I wouldn't be shocked at all if because of, we've talked about it a few times, they have to get a return on that investment eventually. I wouldn't be shocked if Monken trots out Deshaun in week 1
It's going
to
to.
give Shador some time to sit behind a veteran guy who I know we've recency bias is there, but at one point in time, this guy was playing at an MVP level, right? So the experience is there, whether or not the athleticism and all that is still there. That what made Deshaun Watson special. He does bring valuable experience to that team, and if Todd Monken's looking for the future and he does want to make Shador the future of the Cleveland Browns, I think it's wise to get him a chance to sit behind Deshaun.
Hey, Bagg, I
Absolutely.
know finally you got your mic going. Thank you for being hanging with us, brother. So the Browns also signed a couple offensive linemen to help with this plan. What are
Yeah.
your thoughts on the Browns offseason so far, Bagg?
I give it like a C plus B minus, right? As of right now, anyway.
Did you go over who all was signed?
Huh?
Did you go over who all was signed?
Yeah, I
No,
have
not
their
yet. No, not
It
signings.
yet.
doesn't matter. They all left. They all quit anyway. The whole offensive line left. I don't like. They just literally. I don't care. They have to sign like 8 people at the offensive line for me to be impressed. You guys laughing? I'm being dead ass. When
They
your whole
I
signed
know.
starting
3.
offensive
No,
line
You don't
leaves,
got to
that's
get so
crazy
hot
work.
about it.
they really
Huh?
left. They really left.
Yeah.
I
Hell
mean,
yeah.
they did sign Packers, Jenkins.
Zion Johnson.
He can move along the
The
line
tackle.
from center to guard. They signed Zion Johnson from the Chargers. That's kind of
That's
helped,
not. No, it's not.
but that's not a tackle. But they did sign Titus Howard, tackle from Houston. And then, of course, they also signed Tevin Jenkins, who moves along the line, re signed rather, which I
Oh,
didn't
he
get
was there
that
already.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, and then tight end Jack Stoll, no more for his blocking ability they brought on board.
Gotcha.
Seems like obviously they're not getting Njoku back, it seems like. But
Yeah, they're
you're
not.
right,
They
Bag. I
already
mean,
know.
the only tackle, Titus Howard from Houston offense that we saw get rough and tumbled a little bit this
Yep.
year sometimes.
Everywhere that you just mentioned, where they went and got an offensive line, it was a shitty ass offensive line. Excuse my language.
I
Right?
think the
Like,
Packers one might work out.
Yeah, that's it. This
he's
ain't
the
wasn't
he's the
bad.
best one out of all of them.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
And you said he's a guard and plays center, right? They can play
Yeah,
left
Yes.
guard,
he can
center,
play guard
or
and
left
center.
guard, center, right guard. But there's only one tackle, and he's not good. He's not
Surprised they
good.
didn't go out and get a receiver in the free agent market. That
He was the
I
backup, behind Alt and Slater?
yeah, Zion. No, he was Becton's backup.
He's from the Chargers? Oh, okay. The guy from the Chargers I was talking about.
Zion Johnson was Becton's backup.
Oh, okay.
He
Who
played
was?
when
Who
Becton went
was?
down.
Okay, so Slater's back up. They didn't sign.
I
Yeah.
don't know where
No, no,
Slater's
no. I'm
I
backup
saying
don't
that.
think
No,
was.
no.
so.
What I'm saying is that'd be a good thing because he was horrible.
Yeah,
I mean,
He was
I
horrible.
do
That's what
know.
I'm saying. Like you don't want to sign him. He was horrible.
But yeah, like I was saying with the for the mic mixed up and all that shit. Um, we lost a few pieces. Isaiah Likely in particular. Um, lost Linderbaum, which I was cool with. I told 101 the other like last week or so that if we couldn't retain him, I was cool with that because even with him there last year, it was ass. That line was ass. Excuse me, language. Damn, I keep forgetting. Yeah, it was horrible, bro. Not good at all. I don't think you allocate almost 30 million at the centerpiece when the centerpiece is looking like window dressing right next to Falele.
No, you're right. And before we take over and do full Ravens talk, we'll finish out the Browns here real quick because yeah, Bag, we're gonna go ahead and review some of the Ravens moves so you can go ahead and give your opinion. The last thing I do want to touch upon with the Browns, Quincy Williams was signed in the linebacking core, already strong linebacking core with Schlesinger, the rookie of the year. What are your thoughts on that signing there, Kody?
I actually was wondering if you were going to say it. It's big because of the news that came out about a month ago, and that JOK is probably gone for
Yeah,
good.
he's going.
He
Is it
is
JOK?
he
I thought
is
it was
likely going to have to be medically retired, which is first of all a travesty.
was that JOK?
Jeremiah Woso Kamomara, when healthy, in my opinion, was among dang it was among the NFL's best linebackers. I mean, the guy, he always gave us problems. He was a very
pretty
good
good. He
linebacker.
wasn't among the best.
I disagree. I thought JOK was one of the better interior linebackers in the league when he was fully healthy. The problem was that he was never able to be fully healthy, and now we'll never know.
And plus, I mean, granted, he was good, but I think you're just
Very
stretching
good.
it because Myles Garrett has been on a dominant stretch the last 4 or 5 years, bro. Right? Like,
Yeah,
no
but I mean, that
disrespect.
doesn't.
Besides Denzel Ward and Sadiq, because he's out there on the island, to me, there's nobody else more important. It's not.
I'm not
It's
disagreeing with
Myles
that.
Garrett, Denzel Ward.
Yeah, what I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is, if this was an outside linebacker, you'd have a little. I feel like you'd have a little bit more of a place with the Miles thing.
True.
I think with JOK, his athleticism and what he's able to do, he's able to cover linebackers. We saw him a few times be able to cover slot receivers, depending on who it was.
Yeah.
Like JOK is just a freak athlete. It's just really unfortunate.
Yeah, once he gets
And
to football, it's
yeah, very very great ball skills. But for Quincy, right, that's going to be your Devin Bush replacement. Devin Bush just had an insane bounce back year with Cleveland.
He did.
And it earned himself a bag in Chicago, right? And so you bring in Quincy, who's been a very solid linebacker for the Jets for the past year, and we know that Jets defense has been deplorable. Quincy's been not terrible for them. So I think what that does, and especially if they're able to queue up blitzes and stuff, these linebacker blitzes that Blitzburg was known for, right? The linebacker blitzes. If they're able to
y'all
get him
not
into
getting
the backfield
Blitzburg
and
back.
after the
Stop.
quarterback,
You and Common need to show.
Nah, we talking about we talking about the
You're
Dom
talking about the
Capers in Cleveland.
Browns. You need to get those bird
Browns.
feathers out of your ear.
Yeah,
if they're able
You
to
said
do
that
that,
they
I
can. I
think
thought you
Quincy
said
will
the
have it.
Steelers were going to get back to that. My bad.
Nah, we talking about because Dom Capers. Nah, we
No,
talking about
no, I
Dom
wish we could
Capers
get back to
is
that.
on.
I wish we
I
could get
heard
back
you
to
say
that,
about
This
brother.
is
Don
good.
Capers earlier.
Yeah,
But
I wish
I
we could get Dom
misheard what
back.
Kody said.
Oh yeah, I wish I
like I
could
said,
get Dom back.
if they're able to do that and reliably, get Quincy around the ball and get him involved in stuff like that, I think it'll be a good signing for them.
And Gremlin, you said you're looking as the Monken hire as a positive right now.
Right now, I think it is positive for the Browns. They need a different mind in there. They need a mind that's going to be open to let everybody do the best and maximize their ability. I think we can all agree with Stefanski last year. Um, there was a lot of Stefanski not maximizing the talent that he had, and
No,
there's one
purposely. It
major
was
one.
sabotaging.
Yeah, let's call it what it is. There was a lot of sabotaging from him, and I think Monken is not gonna approach it this way. He wants to prove himself. That's why he got the coaching job. So I think this is just better for them, and I think this is going to give them the new coach bump starting this year.
Agreed.
Okay, my retort to that would be, I can see that point of view, but my counter would be, because Todd Monken came in, you went out of house to hire the coach. Not only did you go out of house, you went to a division rival, got their offensive coordinator, brought him over here after they pretty much been whipping our ass since the existence of the Ravens and the Browns came back, right? Like, Jim Schwartz was mad as shit.
Nah, I get why Jim Schwartz is mad. I 100%.
And he's gone.
Yeah.
He signed his resignation. He's gone.
Anywhere.
You don't want nothing to do with Cleveland. So now is that defense going to be a top 5, top 10 defense?
That's a great question. That's one that we will see in time for sure.
And we know Todd Monken's going to come out there trying to throw the ball because, granted, look what he did with Derrick Henry. He stopped calling plays and stopped giving Derrick Henry, him and John Harbaugh. He was okay with that.
With Bagg, that's why I was surprised they didn't go out and try to acquire a skill position player, because right now, if it is Deshaun Watson, I'll go run with that hypothetical that it is Deshaun Watson.
It's more probable than anything.
Yeah, right. So if it is Deshaun Watson, the guys he's throwing to, they're not anything to write home about. You're throwing to Jerry Jeudy,
but we're talking
Isaiah
about
Bond,
Deshaun Watson, regardless.
Jabari Thrash, and Cedric Tillman.
He still should be able to throw the ball. The athleticism of him being able to manipulate the pocket as good as he did and escape ability, sure, that's gone. You know what I'm saying? So now he needs to do, because he was a great pocket quarterback as a mobile guy.
Absolutely.
Right? That's where he did most of his damage at. And he would have every now and then have to break out like Lamar and Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen. You know what I mean? They got the ability to do it. Jump out the window with no parachute. And once they get boogie, they're moving, right? But now his athleticism is going to be down from tearing his Achilles twice in the last 18 months, right? Plus a plethora of injuries before that, shoulder, da-da-da-da.
Mm-hmm.
If he can just, them receivers that you're speaking of, if they can get just a tad bit of separation, I think Deshaun Watson is good enough at throwing and passing the football to be able to negate and look pretty damn well. Because if that offensive line can hold up just for a few seconds for him, we know 2.5 is the average, 2.4, right? So they can give him 2.2. I think he can work with that.
We will see.
Yeah,
Let
we
that
will
Joker
definitely
go
see.
for him.
Yeah, we will see. And just real quick, I will touch upon the new defensive coordinator for the Browns is Mike Rudenberg. He has been with the Atlanta Falcons last year just for the defensive passing game coordinator. But before that, he was with the Jets as their linebackers coach for the previous 4 years. And I can honestly say the Jets had a decent linebacking core throughout those teams, even though they might not have been very good, especially 2 of those years, obviously, with Rodgers
If you
or lack
reunite
thereof.
with Quincy, then
Yeah, so that does make sense, the signing
Was
there.
that
And
mine, Gremlin? Are you sure?
what's that?
Are you sure that was my mic? I was still hearing it when I was muted.
is it mine?
Sounds like actually it might be you, Kody. But
Probably thinking
real
of mine.
quick, guys, we're going to take a quick break here to run for our shows in the middle so you guys can know where to join us on Not Move, to find us for other shows like the hockey show, the basketball show, which Bagg is a part of. You'll see an ad coming up here soon for, of course, the Steel Curtain show, which I know Coach and I are going to be doing, and hopefully Kody can come on and be a special guest. And, of course, we'll try to pop in with some AFC North news. And, of course, we got our friends Bagg and Tinez, who is unfortunately not able to hear. So hang tight with us, everybody. Just a quick minute of your time. We appreciate it.
Number Friday nights, 9 Eastern. It's the Dribble NBA edition on the Not Move podcast. We break down the week, the trades, the highlights, everything around the league. Tap in, chop it up with us, and get the takes that move the game forward. Stay not moved.
If you're craving baseball talk that doesn't flinch, tap in with us Monday nights at 8 Eastern.
It's the Rusty Mitt MLB edition of the Not Move podcast. Breakdowns, debates, all the swings and misses without the fake fluff.
Join us live or catch the replay wherever you get your pods. Rusty Mitt, not moved. Stay not moved.
Tap into the Not Move podcast every Friday night at 8 Eastern.
We're bringing the scrap sheet, UFC edition.
Every jab, every takedown, every headline.
All the fights, all the drama, all the picks, right here.
Watch live on YouTube or listen anywhere you get your podcast. Hit follow, hit subscribe.
And stay not moved.
Tuesday nights just got louder. Ringside Rewind is live every week, 9 Eastern.
We're breaking down Raw, SmackDown, and everything leading into the weekend. If it happens between the ropes, we're talking about it.
Deep dives, hot takes, and a few surprise
and
replays.
A whole lot of arguing.
Yeah, but the good kind. Ringside
Every Thursday night, the Not Move podcast drops a new episode of
In the Wicked.
Our deep dive on everything around the NHL.
We break down the plays, the trades, the stats, and the stories that matter.
Plus a few hot takes along the way.
Join us live at 8 p.m. Eastern or catch it on your favorite podcast app right after.
Same energy, same on.
The world's game has a new home. Tap into the Not Move podcast every Sunday night at 9 Eastern. It's the football edition, and I'm bringing you the El Uncle Max attack, everything World Cup, every angle, every goal. Breakdowns, laughs, and all the passion in the pitch. Stay locked, stay ready.
Morning bettors, welcome back to Angling the Odds on the Not Move podcast.
Every Monday and Friday, we tear into lines, probabilities, and hidden edges across the boards.
We run the numbers, chart the trends, and find value plays so you can tilt the odds your way.
Live at 10:30 Eastern. Mark it, lock it, and join the conversation.
Thank you for hanging with us, everybody. We really appreciate it. And now on to the 2 main events. We're going to roll with the best from Baltimore. Bagg, we had a big coaching change. One of the 3 teams in the North that had a coaching change, minus the odd one out that we said in the beginning. And Jesse Minter, former defensive coordinator for the Chargers, successful defensive coordinator, I want to add, for the Chargers, has now been deemed the new head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. Really nice signing for them. Offensive coordinator come in, Declan Doyle, and defensive coordinator returning, Anthony Weaver. So, Baggs, looking at these coaches, looking at the new turnaround, Go ahead, buddy. What do you think so far of the new face Baltimore Ravens?
I love it. I think it's going to go in a positive direction for sure, right? Because the three that you named are, two of them are already cornerstones and been here, right? So they're familiar with the atmosphere in the front office. Then you got, it was Anthony Weaver, Declan Doyle, right? He was under Ben Johnson. I didn't like Ben Johnson's decision to go for it multiple times in the fourth quarter, twice, I think. Yeah. But he went for fourth downs 3 times in the playoff game. I did not care for that. So I hope Doyle doesn't pick up that nasty habit. But it goes deeper than that, Grim. I'm not going to lie. It goes that Bagg, this whole coaching regime, right? Look, heads was turning, chairs was flipped, guys was gone, locker rooms was cleaned out, right? I'm talking about from the 3 you named. You got the offensive line coach, Haler Bauer. I think that's the guy from Atlanta.
Yeah, Dwayne Ledford. That offensive line. I'm really impressed you
That
guys
was
got
Ledford
him.
that was down there?
Yes.
Okay. So
And that O-line's been really good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So Anthony Weaver, Haler Bauer, Marcus Brady. He's the passing game coach. The special teams coach is Randy Brown. The special coordinator, something, I don't know. They got 2 women. That's cool. Kaylin Brisky, Kerry Colbert, the wide receiver coach, and the DB coach is reuniting with Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame. That's a good, nice little reunion. That's going, I think, heal positive on the
Yeah, I
football
think you
field.
guys also changed your passing game coordinator to Mike Mickens, who was also previously at Notre Dame.
Is Mickens on there?
Maybe do you think that is, if he's the passing game coordinator, do you think maybe the Ravens take a stab at
Mike Mickens.
Malachi Fields then, Dollface, in this year's draft?
And we got a NFL gem on our coaching staff, Joe Lombardi. You heard me.
I'm being joined by an unwelcome guest. I'm sorry.
I mean, overseeing everything, right? Like, yeah, he's the special operating assistant coach. It's going to look good, man.
Well, Bagg, I think the biggest story, obviously, everybody saw the last week was the trade not happening for Max Crosby, and obviously you guys signing Trey Hendrickson. So, Bagg, being someone in Baltimore, you're hearing a lot more of the local news than we are. What was it like coming up in that like 48 hours where at one point Max is in the building and then they reverse the trade while he is in the building? What is being reported out of Baltimore regarding this?
So at first, out the gate, it was the narrative that the Ravens just, you know what I mean, used it to finesse and some stupid stuff. But more information has came out, right? Not only did they had 3 different doctors on site in the room as the examination, right, and the test went, but also they sent the results of the MRIs and everything of the conclusion to 3 or 4 other specialists outside the building via fax and, computer and shit, email. 6 out of the 8 said that most likely on specifically that deal, right, 2 first rounds plus the contract, that their answer was negative. And I mean, when they say, 4 out of 5 doctors recommend something, it kind of thinks. And, I mean, and the Trey Hendrickson and Max Crosby is pretty much the same guy, bro. Just one plays a little bit worse run defense. If you really want to keep it a buck, Trey Hendrickson has been better at sacks since 2020 and 2021 up until now. So it's like it's the same amount of money. You get the same guy with a little bit less rush defense, but guess what? Matty BK is coming back. We got Travis Robinson signed. Got Mike Green, you know what I mean, who had a nice little flash throughout the season here and there. Hopefully he can, step his game up. Hopefully we're going to draft at least one or two, maybe hopefully in the third or fourth round. Try to find a diamond in the rough, and I think we'll be all right. Plus, like you said, Grim, Jesse Minner, you don't understand. What he did in the Chargers as a defensive coordinator, it was so impressive to see the 3 horrible years under the supposedly defensive guru in Brandon Staley, right? He comes from winning the national championship in NCAA, gets these guys, and gets them literally from worse to first in one season.
Yeah.
In one offseason.
It's very impressive.
Literally the worst points per game defense the year before to the best. And even this past year, how did they get to the playoffs?
The defense.
It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? The first 4 or 5 weeks, that offense was rolling. A couple guys on the O-line got hurt. Yeah, that was a wrap.
Defense kept them in that game, too.
Mm-hmm.
All the way up until the end. I mean, the defense, they were getting after Drake, man. Bagg, to touch on what you said, I think I liked a lot of what you guys did. I really think one of the more under the radar signings for you guys was picking up Durham Smythe.
Yeah.
Smythe is going to be the likely and Kolar replacement, as both of them are gone. I really think what Durham Smythe gives you, he's good at blocking. He can catch the ball, right? We've seen a more extent of what he could do with his Miami days. It's hard to find a role in that Chicago tight end room with Kmet and Loveland.
No, that's facts.
I do like you guys going out and getting another guard. John Simpson's a good pickup.
A little steep on the price for me.
Yes, yeah. The price is 3 years, 30 mil with 17.5 of that guaranteed is a little.
I'd rather would have seen
makes
24, 25,
Yep.
maybe 11.5.
Yep, I agree with that completely. Bringing back a Wouzier was kind of one that surprised me.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I
know,
wasn't. Well, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I know everyone is going, especially us Steeler fans, we're going to pick on the Calvin Austin play, right?
Uh-huh.
Because that was
the last
game. He made him touch earth, but I know I watched a few of y'all's games. Chidobe wasn't bad.
He wasn't. He was borderline.
He was not bad.
The second best corner we had.
Was not bad at all. So
sometimes battling to be the best because Nate Wiggins was banged up here and there.
And yeah.
To the best.
There are a few guys that you guys are to still have as free agents that I'm surprised either A, haven't been picked up or brought back. D-Hop doesn't surprise me much, right? Van Oy, kind of surprised. He's a veteran guy. Kind of shocked nobody's taking a chance on him yet.
No, that's facts. I don't know about the Ravens. I mean, if you can just get it for, at the end of the day, you do got to make them realize, you know what I mean? Come on, bro. Right?
His market AAV per year, his market AAV, I'm looking at it for a year, is only $3.5 million. That's his market estimate. And I'm sure you can get him for cheaper than that.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you can't get him for 2.2, 2.3.
Tylan Wallace is one that surprises me. Surprised no one's taken him to be a special teams player yet. And then
he got that big payday. He got his payday. He's not a guy that he's a jag, literally. Just a guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and then obviously
I thought he was
talked about
special coming out of OSU.
I did too. I really liked him coming out of OSU. And then we haven't talked about all of the guys that you guys lost. But I'll touch on them here. Linderbaum, we talked about. Likely is a big blow, obviously.
Low key,
Dermot Jones.
The worst one, my bad. The worst one, no, I ain't gonna lie, is Patrick Ricard.
I felt the same. I thought Aloy Gilman played really well for you guys. What's coming over in the trade as well. So I was shocked to see them let him walk.
Well, no,
Kolar.
I ain't gonna lie.
Well, that was during when
I'm
you thought you
cool
had
with
Max,
it.
so it makes
After
sense.
I didn't like it at first. I agree with you, but then they signed dude from the Patriots,
Yeah.
Jalen Hawkins. Yeah,
Jalen
that was a
Hawkins,
good
and he's
signing.
good.
Cheap
That was a
too.
2 year,
great
10
Cheap.
signing.
million. Yo,
2 year,
good,
10
bro.
million contract. That was a great
Yeah,
signing.
I think 7 guaranteed, 6.5
Jalen Hawkins
guaranteed.
was also the 13th best safety out of the league against the run last year. He is familiar with Jesse Minter, with playing with him briefly there for the Chargers in 2023. It makes sense
See, I
why
did
he
not
would
know
want him
that.
to come on board. In the last 2 seasons with New England, he has been one of their better secondary guys,
Mm-hmm.
besides Gonzalez, obviously.
Yeah, and then they lost
People
Kolar.
overhype Gonzalez.
Yeah, a little bit.
I would agree.
You lose Kolar, Keaton Mitchell.
Yep.
Losing Stout was one that kind of surprised me. I thought Stout was pretty good for you guys.
Yeah, he was, but we can't. You mean sometimes you got to hit reset at a lot of positions, man. We gotta.
Yep.
And then obviously the last two. I mean, Jake Hummel isn't anything to write home about. We talked about Ricard just now, and then the last two, Darius Washington and Ajabo. Washington didn't really surprise me all that much, and Ajabo didn't surprise me at all. I knew he was gone from Baltimore.
Same.
Those two didn't really surprise me.
Same. But with this Bags, what I'm really impressed with is the coaching turnaround with what the Ravens, they completely bought into keeping this team filled with still good players to be competitive for next year in the North and in the NFL in general. We won't touch too much on the draft here because we will come back to you guys with a draft show before it goes down to talk about what our AFC North teams do. But just a little bit, Bag, as far as those first couple picks for the Ravens to fill out the offense, what do you think they're going to be going towards?
I mean, just gotta get it over with and get Lamar X. You know, I mean, depending on how it goes down, if like the second best tackle was there, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if, because we definitely got the veteran guards in the free agents, like we just talked about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie Stanley is getting old.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, right. I think Rosengarten on the right side is not that good, and Falala made him and Linderbaum look very horrible. So the last thing we've seen from them is poor tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now the only thing I do want to touch on quickly before we take a quick break and talk about the Steelers, Bag, is obviously Lamar reworked his contract, to be a good team player and get some Trey Hendrickson money out there for him. But we still have not quite seen the extension yet. Do you think that this is just going to be maybe a later on in the season or maybe next offseason extension?
I mean, I don't know if you have the final numbers of the restructure, but it was $74.3 million as cap hit, and it wasn't guaranteed, right? So that means he's actually got to go to work for these checks. You know what I mean? And finish these games and play them. So this is a whole different atmosphere back sort of to the first time they did the deal, right? They could potentially hold the hell out.
Well, here's what I wanted to bring up to you about the contract, because like you said, this year is very much signing bonus and a little bit of performance based. But what I did not like is the impact on next year, where his cap hit increases significantly, even with this restructure to 84 million.
It goes up another 9. Yep.
Yeah, that right there was just a little caveat I saw, and Lamar obviously doing what he is doing to help the team out to get Trey Hendrickson, but man,
But that's the
84
name
million
of the
for next
game,
year
right?
is a lot.
That's the name of the game, right, Gremlin?
It is. It is.
Kick the can down the road, void years, pay it later, right? Sometimes you find a very nice medium of doing that and, hoping to get really good deals that are fruitful, right? That's the happy medium, I would say. But you could be the New Orleans Saints. Mickey Loomis has been kind of created the shit, right? In 2008, 2009. He's been the GM ever since. And every year, the Saints are like 30, 40, $60 million in the red. Like, bro.
Well, they'll be
That's
out of it next year, which is very surprising. They'll be
about damn time. It's not surprising. It's about
I
time.
know.
That should have
Well,
been
no,
4
I'm
years ago.
saying it's surprising because of the
Yeah, she made it
rapidness that they
happen.
were able to turn over all of those bad contracts, right? Like you'll have Tyrann off your books. DeMario will be off your books. The Marcus May contract will be off your books. There's some other bad ones that I'm forgetting because they signed. Ramcheck will be off your books.
Oh,
There's other ones that
Cam Jordan got
there's
one more year
Cam Jordan will be gone off their
after
books.
this year.
They'll finally have money to spend. But you said that Mickey Loomis is I actually would credit Washington for being the revolutionary in the quarterback market for what they did to Kirk Cousins all those years. They just constantly kicked the can down the road with Kirk.
No, they just tagged him.
It was just
That's
kick
different.
it down the road, kick it down the road.
That's different. That's different.
It's different, but in the same way,
You're right.
the
It
philosophy
does
is
kick
the
it down
same.
road,
Yeah, for the
but
philosophy is the same.
The structure of how the money is delegated.
Oh, absolutely.
Is different
Yeah.
Because when you get the tag, that means you got to pay all that money in one season, right? And they take the top 5 at that position. They find the medium, and that's what they give you. So you either sign it or you don't. And Kirk Cousins not
He
only
chose
did
to keep
it
signing
once,
it.
right? He did it twice. So therefore, and come to find out, they could have done it one more time.
Yeah, they could have.
Right? Me and Common found that out. But after they do that, though, the 2 times, you have the ability to not be tagged anymore. And you can exercise that clause. And you put it in your contract. You can't tag them. Dak got it. Lamar got it. Smart.
Yep. And the only one I really want to hear from is our coach, because our coach was talking in depth while we were having this discussion before we did the shows about how similar and yet a little bit different Hendrickson and Max Crosby are. And Coach Common knows more than anybody, especially better than us, the differences between 2 defensive linemen of that caliber. Coach, you still there with us? I really want to hear your thoughts on this Hendrickson and not having Crosby now. What are your thoughts on this? Because Bagg mentioned something that I thought I heard you speak earlier in the week, and that it might be a little bit better to go with one or the other. Do you think the Ravens won out having Hendrickson instead of Crosby, Coach?
No, not at all. I like Crosby way better. Crosby way more in the run game. Crosby is way more of a complete defensive end than Hendrickson. Hendrickson, like I like to describe it as, he wants to do the extra credit, but he don't want to do none of the regular Monday through Friday day-to-day schoolwork. But you want to show up on Friday, you want to show up after school on Friday for extra credit, and then you expect an A because you did all the extra credit, but you did none of the regular schoolwork. A defensive end's job, his primary objective, okay, is to contain the edge, let nothing get outside shoulder. And what I like to tell my guys, when you read pass, go get his ass. You know what I'm saying? So he forgot all about sealing the edge and stopping the run. He forgot about that. And all he wants to do is rush after the quarterback. That's a bonus. That's a bonus. The quarterback sacks are a bonus. Everybody brings up his 17 sacks. There's 17 games in a season. So you're telling me he makes a play a game? That's how I look at it. When it's 17 sacks.
No.
That's how I look at it. No. Hear me out.
I rock with you. I love you, yo, but don't do that.
No. Hear me out. No, listen. Hear me out. There's 17 plays. Listen, you average I think it's between 55 and 65 offensive plays a game, right?
60 to 75, yeah.
Yeah, offensive plays a game. Now, of all those offensive plays, 17 times you made a play.
Well, those are the ones that you got.
No. 17 times you made a play.
So just hold up real quick. Let me clarify.
Everybody,
So just getting a sack is making a play. That's the only thing I'm making a play.
No.
Well,
Hear me out, Baggs. No, hear me out, Baggs. I said 17 times you made a play that's kept on a statistical pedestal, right? You did that 17 times. Now, I don't know the numbers. But from what I've seen is you allow somebody outside of your outside shoulder way more than 17 times a season. So therefore, you not doing the day-to-day Monday through Friday schoolwork and only coming with the extra credit does not move me. That doesn't move me.
So real quick, then, when he's the best person, and I will give it to you, especially the last 2 years, Trey Hendrickson has not been good on defense, running the ball. I 100% will back you on that. But he had almost 18 sacks as well. So you find, all right, how bad are you actually getting beat on the run? Is it not going to say actually justifiable, but is it understanding? Is something we can change to alleviate it? I think by him being the best player on the defense and the Bengals on a very, very bad defense, right? As long as you neutralize him, everybody else falls in line, right? Then you can pretty much control tempo, right? You have time of possession, shoot the clock up, get some yards, get down the field, whether you get a field goal or a touchdown, and can just continue to take drives and put points on the board. Now, the Ravens defense is different. Let's keep it a buck, right? Like I said earlier, you got Madubuike, Robinson, Mike Green. Hopefully they will bring Kyle Van Noy back. He's a good run edge, even at his elder age, because he's just smart and he gets shit done. So I think the Hendrickson defense on the run game might tick up a little bit.
That's a huge possibility.
Right. Different scenario, change of scenery, new Raven philosophy, play like a Raven. You feel me? He knows what this is. He know what it is over here. He beat us, right? Did that 98-yard touchdown? I think that was him. Or was that Hubbard?
Nah, that was Logan Wilson.
Was that Logan Wilson? Okay.
It was Logan Wilson that ran it back. Oh no, it was
no. You sure?
It was bro. They have three white guys that look the same. It was. I think it was Sam Hubbard. I know it wasn't Trey. They have three white guys that look the same.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Well, one thing I want to bring up about Trey Hendrickson is I'm not going to talk about last year's his run numbers or anything because he only played 7 games. We can discuss that at a later date. We want to talk about the previous 2 where we saw full 17 game action where he gets 17 and a half sacks, right? Well, he has a very low run grade. Out of 200 and what does it say here? Yes, out of 200 eligible, he is 67th among edge rushers with a 65.9 run defense grade. That's awful. He is actually one of the worst out of all the star all-pro. He's actually the worst out of every all-pro defensive edge rusher in the league. He's the worst against the run. So that's one thing. But to what Bagg said, I like what Bagg pointed out because of the defensive line signings for Trey. I think that might open up a little bit more for him. Coach, what were you going to say, sir?
No, I was going to say, yeah, I was going to piggyback off what Bagg said. The personnel around him might help him, right? Personnel, coaching, scheme, that might help him.
Yep.
But what I see, this is what I see. This is the only thing. I don't know if it's going. The defense around him might help the run, but I don't think it's going to help him. He's just not good at it because he doesn't try to perfect his craft anymore. You can see it in his play. He pretty much, when it's a run play, says, "Oh well, this ain't my. This was not for me. Like this not my song." Like you know what I mean, it's like being at a club. You know what I mean? You don't.
I get that. Matthew Judon used to do the same shit for us.
Yeah, like when it's not a pass play, it's like, okay, oh nah, this not my song. Let me sit back down. I ain't going to dance for you. Right. But then when the quarterback drops back, oh, they playing my song. Let me go on the dance floor and get my boogie on. You know what I mean? But when it's not his song, he wants to sit back in the cut and
post up with a corner on the wall.
You know what I mean? Yeah, he posts up on the wall when it's not his song. So that's so I agree with Bagg as far as the personnel around him, you know what I mean, will help him. But I don't think he's gonna help him because I don't think he even puts forth let's just say a perfect effort. He doesn't put forth 100% effort when it's a run play. You see it in his aggression, in his style of play. When it's a run play, it's like I said, this is not my song.
You don't think the change, the scenery, like that's what I'm saying. Like me personally, I think they're miserable in Cincinnati. You can see it on Joe Burrow's face, right? They don't nobody want to play her.
No,
nobody wants to play her. They want to get that generational wealth, and they want to roll. Right? So it's like
100%.
I mean, I'm just trying to look at the glass half full type, you know, because Trey Hendrickson, he's got on my nerves. Like, I've played him for the last couple of years, twice a year. I know what he's capable of. I know he's not the most flashy and the most dominant on the run. But I do look at it that it's football. The ultimate team sport. You have 10 other guys. You know, 3 other on the defensive line next to you that has a job as well, right? And when you are the best player on the defense, hands down, no argument about it, they are scheming to neutralize you. Sure. In the run game, does it happen? Yeah. But guess what? I'm going to make up for it when you do throw the ball. All right?
Yeah.
High pressure rate, high QB hits. Lead the league in sacks. So it's like you got to take the good with the bad.
I get that. And like I said, I can almost agree with you. You know that change of personnel, change of coaching, change of scenery can change the player. You know what I mean? It can definitely change the player, especially. And I ain't going there. And this is so important, especially if they see that we are in position to actually make a run. For the ship, you know what I mean? When you play completely different, dog. When your team's 10-2, then from
3-7.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? 3-7. Like you play completely different, dog. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you with the 7 losses, you're like, man, if we were to make the playoffs, we need help. We don't control destiny. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. No, I mean, you look at that 10-2.
We lead the league. I mean, we lead in the conference.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you look at 10-2, you like, hey, listen, we might get the bye week. You know what I'm saying? Like, we might. It's a completely different mindset.
Let's take this next quarter of game.
Yeah, it's a completely different mindset. So maybe, and then another thing was Joe Burrow being hurt, right? Joe Burrow being injured, he could have had no faith in the team itself. So he could have had a mindset of, I'm just gonna get mine because the team ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna get mine. You know what I mean? So like I said,
know what's up, though, Coach.
There's a whole bunch of scenarios we could run and go through. Honestly, and like I said, it's about pretty much the whole AFC North now because there's so much of a turnover and flip. We have no clue what the division gonna look like next year. It's just too much new. Everything's just too much new with too many coaches that none of us know. We don't know their tendencies. We don't know what they like.
My whole coaching staff is flipped upside down, man.
Yeah, the whole coaching staffs are gone. You know what I mean? The whole coaching staffs are gone. So, you had Harbaugh for 18. We had Tomlin for 19. Dog, I knew what we were running on a 3rd and 5 and on the watch what they call. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
John Harbaugh special. We all knew that.
You know
in the
what I mean?
playoff game, in the Pittsburgh game, that John Harbaugh special. Roll out. Let's roll out left to right.
Cut off half the
field, even though we're on the fucking on the damn 6-yard line. Doesn't matter.
You feel me? Like you feel me? Like, and in the draft, I called it last year. Bagg was there. Grim, I don't know if he was around yet. After the national championship, got on JB's live, said, "Yo, dog, if we get a quarterback, it's gonna be Dwight Howard." They was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Dog, I just got finished watching
Will
the
Howard. I said Dwight Howard is crazy.
I mean, Will Howard. I said, yeah. I said, yeah. Shut up. You know I hate Dwight. That's why.
I know. That's why I pointed it out.
So look, right? So I'm sitting there, and they're like, "Yo, why you say that? Why you say that?" I'm like, "Dog, this guy feel like we just got finished watching the Natty." I'm like, "Dog, he's the biggest." I was like, "He's the most Big Ben prototype coming out this year." So if we do get a quarterback, it will be Will Howard. And lo and behold, it might have been the 6th round. Lo and behold, he said, and with the 100th and whatever pick Will was, the Steelers picked Will Howard from Ohio State. Yo, me and JB just started laughing because we was on JB's live. And we just started cracking the fuck up. We just started cracking up, dog, because I told him if Tomlin got a quarterback, it would be him. I don't know McCarthy like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know his tendencies. I don't know his likes. I don't know anything about him. I don't know Minter. Like Harbaugh, I knew certain things Harbaugh was going to do in a Raven-Pittsburgh game. I knew what certain calls were going to be. Why? I've been dealing with Harbaugh for 18 years. I don't know the new guy. I don't know what he's going to do. You know what I'm saying? So
as I said, it was so pitiful that he would get out coached by Mike Tomlin. That's the only reason why y'all with Peters, yo. Y'all's rosters was not as good as ours, yo. You're not convincing me. Our quarterback was an ununanimous MVP, bro. Unanimous.
Yep, and he got unanimously beat. So
I'm
my
about to
segue
say,
to
something
go.
about that black and yellow. Something about that black and yellow. I don't think.
Yeah, really.
I don't think
he
Lamar
likes
likes
it.
that black and yellow.
We
I don't think he likes it.
I think Lamar. I think Lamar's allergic to. I think check out his allergies. See if he's allergic to bees. And I think when he sees the black and yellow, it just reminds him of bees. So he gets nervous. Then it feels like a sting.
One thing we know Lamar ain't afraid of is a little hard work. And so we know he ain't afraid of that. So let's move right on into the Steelers. New coach, Mike McCarthy.
Yippee.
New offensive coordinator, Brian Angelico. Previously from the Vikings pass game coordinator. New defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham. So, guys,
Loved him.
Go ahead, Kody. Let's go with you first, Coach. You're going to take it afterwards, Kody. Mike McCarthy's the new man in town.
Not
sure what to
we
expect.
talking about? We're talking about everything.
Real quick. Excuse me.
The Raiders. The
Oh.
Raiders. So the last time he
Raiders,
coached was
okay.
with the Raiders, I believe it was.
He was their defensive
not last
coordinator.
year. Was it last year? He was their guy last year or the year before?
Brian Angelico, I believe, was with the Cowboys last year.
No, talking about the DC. Graham.
Well, okay. Patrick Graham. Yeah, I believe Patrick Graham. I thought that he was with the Cowboys. I thought one of our defensive coordinator that we did sign had previously been at the Cowboys at one point. No, he's been with the Raiders this entire time. I'm thinking of our offensive guy then.
Okay.
He's been with the Raiders as DC since 2022. Now, before that, he was the DC of the Giants and then for 2 years and then Miami. So relatively fresh, honestly, as a defensive coordinator in the league. Only 7 years. Not a long time at all.
He had those
3 different stints.
He had those Raiders boys hooping, man. That's a defense that
Thank you.
that we got to be real, doesn't have the same level of talent that Pittsburgh does. He had Eric Stokes as in terms of just purely looking off of yards allowed, the best corner in the NFL. Now he gets the guy who was number 2 in that category with a shitty DC. Not only that, right? When you look at the moves and what we let go to let some of these guys come into the building, you let Calvin Austin walk. I'm sure as Steeler fans, we all love Calvin Austin. He's a fan favorite, but he was never a wide receiver too. He's a punt returner that can stretch the field a little bit. He is the great value version of what Rashid Shaheed is. And Southgate, if you're listening, I'm really sorry you had to hear that name.
Don't get Southgate started on Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you say Rasheem Shaheed 3 times, he pops up like Beetlejuice on the podcast.
I know.
He's like, yeah.
I know they're more than likely letting Duggar walk. I actually kind of wanted to see Duggar back. I liked what we did with Duggar, but the 2 guys that they brought in to replace him, not mad about at all. Jaquan Brisker and Darnell Savage. Being a Maryland fan, Darnell Savage, special place in my heart, Maryland alum. Brisker has been very good for the Bears. The only thing that worries everyone with him are the concussion problems. We didn't let a D lineman go, so bringing in Sebastian Joseph Day. We talked about it a little bit before the podcast. Coach said, I don't think Pittsburgh is very confident in his ability to play a full season with his age. I agree with that. I think that's a big reason why they brought him in. I'll skip that guy. Jamel Dean, that's your James Pierre replacement. I actually was kind of sad to see James Pierre go. He's been kind of underrated for us, made some big plays.
Yeah.
But Jamel Dean is also a very good corner. So I'm excited to see him in the building. And letting Gainwell go. At first, felt like a punch in the stomach. Gainwell was, the team MVP last year, right? But then you bring in Rico Dowdle. And boy, was that a breath of fresh air for us.
That was a good move.
Now,
Chuck, I had to get rid of Gainwell. I think Warren should have been the one to go.
Well, they extended Warren last year, Bagg. So
they extended Warren
2 years last year. Yeah, he's already extended.
So, and then this website doesn't have this. We brought back Cameron Johnston. I don't know if you guys saw that. That was the guy that went down 2 years ago against Atlanta. We had to end up getting Waitman for. Waitman, by the way, is now gone. Said Connor. Sayamalu was gone. We haven't necessarily replaced him. I wasn't mad that we let Sayamalu walk. What he wanted was going to be more than we were going to be willing to pay. And he's been an okay guard. And allow me to just say, Vegas, I love you. Connor Hayward is no longer on my team. Oh, my God is an awesome God.
He has the highest mascot contract in all the NFL. Did you know that?
It's insane.
That's the best mascot in the NFL.
Yeah, he was the Steelers mascot for a couple years though. Connor Hayward.
Yep, absolutely.
He was the mascot for Cam Hayward. Little light offensive version. Was a bum. Not gonna be afraid to say it. Took up contract space. Did not like him for a small 5'11" tight end who could not block. So yeah, glad to see him go.
Hey, they should keep it above. I like that. Yeah.
Like I said, we kept him around. Yeah, now listen. We are a loving organization that's all about family, right? No, listen. We are a loving organization that's all about family.
Just say it how it is. He's a nepo baby. Just say it how it is.
In the interior, it's all about the family. It's all about family. You had Cam, you had Carlos, you had TJ. Hey, we held on to Dare. How long we held on to Dare?
Too long. We had too long. Probably a year or two too long. We held on to Dare.
You know what I mean? So listen, we're all about family. You know what I mean? You got 2 kids in the NFL. We know the tickets are a bitch, right? They cost money. You can't be in 2 places at one time. Hey, we Mama Hayward, Mama Watt, we looked them out for as long as we could. Kept all the kids in one place.
I will say this, Coach, and we I'll go back to what the coaches were. The one thing I'll say is that if McCarthy does have any input on what the offensive play calling looks like, which we know he probably will, he had that input in Dallas, he had that input in Green Bay. It does give you a chance to have a semblance of an offense, which is something that we all three can agree we have not had in years.
Not since
And
2019 when Ben blew his elbow.
we haven't had
but you know what?
offensive consistency in years, man. So
Nah, but you know
if
what
we can
though?
get that,
Nah, but you know what though? They say here's my whole thing, right? Here's my whole thing. And I said this before. If you get an offensive-minded coach, you have to hire a defensive guru. If you get a defensive-minded head coach, you have to hire an offensive guru. No
Mike
matter how
Tomlin
you
never
look
did
at
that.
it. No, listen, exactly. No matter how you look at it, right? And this is what is more important. I know Mike McCarthy is the head coach, but I'm more interested in seeing what the staff does. The offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, the line coaches, the linebacker coaches. I'm more interested in seeing how they coach and how they develop our players, because I want to see how they're used. Like, I agree with Kody. I like the pickups as far as the players that we have. But are you going to put them in a scheme that puts them in position for success? Because Terrell Austin did.
No, not at all.
Matt
Not at all.
Canada didn't. Look,
Not
we
at
got
all.
Jonnu Smith. And I think he might have had, and I bet you, if you were to look it up, you could probably count how many times Jonnu Smith was actually on the field.
So Jonnu, let's see.
He wasn't getting a lot of reps.
No, that was a waste.
It was a waste of a signing.
Waste of a signing and everything. So
you know what? Coach?
So I want to see how they're used.
We talked about the Nepo baby thing. You know why Jonnu Smith was brought over? Because he was Arthur Smith's boy. That's exactly why he was brought over.
That had a good
facts.
I mean, look, the guy last year in a full season of football, 38 catches. 38.
Yeah, he was awful. Now
38 catches, man.
Combine that too with just the overall terrible use of the tight ends by Art Smith in general. You know, it goes back to, we had 3 good tight ends that could have been utilized in what Coach really wanted for some 13 personnel. The Coach was calling for it all year. Coach was begging for it as we were doing these shows. And when we saw some of it while they were using those tight ends and that, it was successful. Coach, 3 tight ends, you know, we're already getting in the Jonnu Smith thing, but this year, at least with this offensive coordinator, maybe we won't see that.
Well, here's the thing. We won't see the 13, but I'm hoping we see the 12 with.
You'll see the 12
with Freiermuth and Washington, right? I'm hoping we see the 12. So, I ain't
Minnesota
or
like,
right? I'm not gonna get the 13 because we're gonna get rid of Jonnu. At least I can get the 12. The 12 man with 12 man, if DK plays like he's 6'4", 235 pounds, then maybe we'll watch it. Because right now, I'm going to keep it real with you. DK Metcalf is big for no reason. I don't care if you like it. I don't care if you agree with it. I'm telling all you Steelers fans out there, DK Metcalf is big for no reason. He's big for no reason. When I see a cornerback, 6 foot, 178, whatever he was, take a ball out of your hands, just take it from you. Yeah, dog, you're big for no reason to me, dog. You are big for no reason.
I know, Dollface, that this has a lot. I know this has a lot to do with the OC more than anything, and Kevin O'Connell. But Minnesota ran a lot of 12 personnel, if I'm not wrong, last year. So they got both of their tight ends involved. So if that translates over with this guy, you know, maybe my only worry, and I know I expressed this to Coach, with Darnell's injury, is he going to be scared to throw his body around like he is so accustomed to doing? And is he going to think twice about it? Because if he does, we have, being real about Darnell Washington, the guy, other than being big and almost requiring 3 people to bring down at all times, he doesn't have great footwork. He doesn't have elite routes. He's just a big body that will catch the ball in space And if you hit him after a gain of 2, he's going to pick up 5 to 6, maybe even 7. Right. So that is what
Cody.
Darnell Washington's specialty.
Here's the thing, Cody. He's just a big body, sure-handed safety net.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, listen, I don't need you to have an elite route running inside the red zone. I just need your big behind to put yourself between. I just need your big behind to put yourself in front of the defender and catch the ball from the quarterback in the end zone. That's what I need you to do. Listen, you ain't gotta be elite. Just put your big ass body in front of the defender. Put your hands up, catch the ball, hand it to the referee. That's what I need you to do. That's what I need you to do. Because at 6'7", whatever he is, 311 pounds, listen, what route do you really think he's going to run correctly anyway?
I know, but I'm just saying, he's just a...
He got open quite a few times. Not a lot, but...
Listen,
a couple yak plays.
I just need you to box out the defender, put your hands up,
I thought you said Washington.
Catch the ball.
Yeah, no, Jonnu. I said Jonnu by accident. By the way, Dollface, I went and looked it up. Remember when I said he only had 32 catches? He was on the field for 52% of our offensive snaps. That makes literally zero
sense given that the extension of Freiermuth happened that offseason. They barely used Freiermuth. He was the least used tight end, it seemed like. Just a lot of weird moves. Another weird move that happened, they extended Cam Hayward. They did another restructure, another extension with this whiny guy for the last 2 seasons. I like Cam overall for his career, but this last 2 to 3 seasons of him pulling this contract dispute stuff, same thing.
I gotta feed my family.
You almost are guaranteeing that we're going to hear about a Cam Hayward problem with his contract. I don't understand it. All he has ever done when he's been with the Steelers is eat. Okay, let's be honest. Yes, he's taking friendly deals, but I mean, like, as far as playing, they have given him reins to just open up on that defensive line because he is very successful, but he's in year what now, guys? Cam Hayward.
18.
Yeah, and as much as I want to see him play the first contract out, that's what I want. I want him to retire, but, this will be year 16. We've played 15 years with Cam, and last year, we saw a little bit of a decline. We can all admit that. And now whether that was due to the couple injuries, I guess we have to he had sustained during game in the earlier part of the season. He did sustain a couple injuries. It took him out for a few plays, didn't really get his reps in. What I did like was he was seemingly able to gel with Harmon and YY Black.
They were very good together.
Yeah, but Cam, for what he's trying to do, I don't think he has really earned this extension since we have seen it the last 2 seasons already been done. Coach, what's going on with Cam Hayward?
No, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm a firm believer in this, though. I think Cam was that team guy. Team. He saw the front office not put the team first, right? He saw other players around him that, are looking at him to be captain and mentor, and he's giving them advice or whatever, not listen to that advice and not put the team first, right? And I'm going to be honest with you. And only because I'm still a fan, I noticed it. Cam Hayward's attitude towards football, as far as the business of football, changed after the Le'Veon Bell did. Him and Le'Veon were very good friends. And after he called Le'Veon on the phone and said, yo, what's going on, dog? Are you playing? Oh, yeah, man, I'm not holding out, man. I'll be there week 1, man. Don't worry. I'm just working on I'll be there week 1 for sure. And then Cam Hayward, when asked about it, national TV, do you think, what are your thoughts on the Le'Veon Bell? Cam Hayward's exact words was, I just talked to Le'Veon on the phone personally. He assured me that he will be here week 1, and and you know, he's just working out, getting his head right, and he'll be good to go week 1, and we're going to push forward, you know what I mean, to try to get this Super Bowl. That was Cam Hayward's response. And then Le'Veon Bell, as we know, never showed up. And that, like, to this day, he doesn't even, like, really mention Le'Veon. You ever watch his podcast? He does not speak about Le'Veon, right? He does not mention Le'Veon. That really messed him up. And I think Cam, ever since then, as far as the business side, as far as the business side of this sport, changed his whole ideology of what he's doing. And I think he now is in the, you know what? I'm 36. It's about me, homie. Like, yo, it's all about listen. Like, yo, I try to do this team thing. It's all about me, homie. Like, I ain't got nothing. I try to do the team thing, man. Listen, I'm 36. You know what I mean? I already got one foot out the door. You know what I mean? I don't care if y'all like it or not. I'm getting mine. Like, and that's where I think his mentality is, dog. That's where I think his mentality is, because I think him and TJ got the similar mentality, because we've had too good of a solid defense for as long as we have had it, for neither one of them to have a playoff win nor ever win past the fucking first round, dog.
Well,
Cam doesn't have a playoff win?
Cam has one playoff win.
I thought so. I thought he was on the team that beat the Chiefs.
2015.
Yeah.
Yep, in 2000.
he was.
That is Cam's only playoff win. TJ Watt has not been a part of playoff wins as well. Yes, and I don't know. I think this is more towards Coach. You have nailed it since last offseason. This owner seems to be failing the team, this specific Rooney. Once again, we are in quarterback limbo with Aaron Rodgers, who Brooke Pryor has advised of 24 hours ago that he is closer now than ever to signing, because he wanted to see what the Steelers' offseason moves were. So it all harkens back to this ownership, doesn't it, Coach?
Yeah, listen. If you follow the Steelers, if you're a Steelers fan, it's obvious we have a owner's problem. We are in the realm of owner's problems. One thing about an owner's problem, you can't get rid of it because you can't fire the owner. That's the only problem with having an owner's problem. You can't get rid of that problem. He owns the damn team. So right now we are in a case of somebody in that family slaps him across his face, telling him to wake up. Do you see what's going on? Or we gotta do what the Cowboys are doing now and what the Raiders had to do. I wait for you to pass away. I mean, what other way is Art Rooney II not going to be CEO and chairman of the Steelers? You name me another way that Art Rooney II will no longer be CEO and president of the Steelers. And okay, and I'll go with you. But if you can't tell me another way, there's only one way that he's no longer the boss. He has to retire to the upper room. If he don't go to the upper room, dog, he's gonna remain CEO. Dan Rooney was CEO until they put him in the ground. Like, he didn't step down. He was CEO until he did not wake up that next day.
I mean, that seems to be the Rooney way of getting out of the business, right? You get out the hard way.
To the bucket.
Right, Bagg. You got to get out the bucket.
Art Rooney Sr., look, Art Rooney Sr., on his unaliving bed, one of his last words, we should have drafted Marino. Like, this man is still worried about the draft, and he's on his way to the upper room. Like, listen, the only way we're getting rid of them is when they go to the upper room. And so, listen.
The
So, listen.
upper room.
The upper room, he on deck. He on deck. You know what I'm saying? So listen. Like that, I mean, it's obvious. The signing with Cam Hayward, right? The signing of T.J. Watt early, okay? The money being spent in free agency like we've never seen, right? He's clearly went out the realm or off the blueprint of Dan Rooney and Art Rooney Sr. Clearly, because they never did any of this.
No.
Right? So he's doing, listen, I'm not mad at you for trying to get out of your grandfather's shadow and your father's shadow. I'm not mad at that, right? But what I am mad at is you deviating from from a certain blueprint that brought the team success. That part I'm mad at. Now I don't mind you tweaking some things, putting your own little spin to it, but going completely away from what got us these 6 rings, that I have a problem with. You know what I'm saying? Now that I have a problem with.
You know, Coach,
and he's completely going away from it.
You know who I think he has influence from now, and you know, I know his first part of the tenure in Pittsburgh was really fruitful for both parties, but we can all agree that towards the end, Kevin Colbert was a moron. I really think.
I think Kevin just didn't care. I think Kevin didn't care at the end.
I don't think he did either.
I think he didn't care.
I think now, instead of what Colbert did, especially towards the end, where he just, yes, sir, nod my head, kiss ass to Rooney. I think Omar has pushed back a little bit on him and has said, look, we need to start spending money. And the past 2 off seasons have shown that with Omar Khan. I really like some of the moves he's done. Some of them have backfired. The TJ Watt deal is probably the big one, but some of them have been really fruitful for us. And I'm very, very high on Omar Khan as a GM. I think what he's been able to do, and now what they've been able to do with bringing in a completely new coaching regime, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to this year because it will tell us a lot about what the future holds for our team. So,
yeah, like I said, I don't know the staff, right? Completely new staff. The one coach you should have kept, you let go to Tampa Bay, Mike. Just let
which
you know.
Made no sense. Made no sense.
And yeah, in case you see this podcast, Mike, just in case, Mike, Danny was supposed to stay. Okay? Danny was supposed to stay. He wasn't supposed to leave. The rest of them, yes. Make sure the door don't hit you with a good Lord split. Absolutely.
Well, I feel like Mike came in.
Supposed to stay.
Well, I feel like Mike came in and took his bubble yum jar because that must have really ticked him off to going down. Well, I guess nice weather in Tampa Bay too. Maybe he's thinking retirement.
I was gonna say retirement tour.
Everybody does go to Florida to retire.
So he's just getting his contract down there to get situated first. Now we're gonna go ahead and cut off because we are gonna have a pre-draft show for AFC North with the same 3 that you see here. Hopefully add on Tinez and maybe add on a Browns fan, even though as disgusting as that sounds, we have to have coverage. And a Bengals fan, also as disgusting as that sounds, we have to have coverage. So Kody, let's start with you before you leave us. Final thoughts on both the Ravens and the Steelers.
So with the Ravens, man, obviously you have a defense that was down last year. Going from a top 10 defense, I hope that for the sake of the competition, they are able to return to form. And I think Minner's a good step in the right direction to do that. For us, it's a team that has historically won a lot, looking to get back into winning ways. And whether or not they find a way to do that with the new coaches, the moves they've made in free agency is a step in the right direction. I'm excited to see what the coaches bring. I'm glad that we finally got over our hump of this mediocrity with Tomlin at least at the helm of it. And hopefully McCarthy's a step in the right direction to get out of it.
And Bagg, you, sir, with the Steelers and the Ravens, what are you thinking so far of the offseason moves?
Like I said earlier, still up in the air of how it's going to the result, but I think they're going to favor the Ravens with Jesse Minter and Anthony Weaver. But stop, yeah, but oh shoot, and on top of that, I don't think Manning is the guy for y'all. Like, what I've seen him have to be the only interview in Dallas, he gets the job. This is his only interview in Pittsburgh, he gets the job. It tells me he's not very sought after. And I understand why. Because he got ran out of Green Bay because he would not evolve offensively. And we're going to win the division, like usual.
Wait, like usual. What happened last year?
Right, that's the unusual. Duh.
That's not. Yo, listen.
Y'all have won it twice in 8 years that Lamar's been the quarterback. So I'm not trying to hear none of that.
Well, no, we won it
Coach,
3 times.
Coach, I want to hear your take on the Ravens a little
Lamar
bit before
became,
Bagg can respond. Because
I was saying before. Wait a minute. We won it in when did Lamar become coach? 18, right? Quarterback. 18 or 19?
Yeah, week 9 of 2018.
Yeah.
18. All right. Okay. Didn't we win it in 2020?
That's what I said.
And we just won it. Well, we won it in 2020. No, we won it in 2020, and we won it in 23. No, not 23.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Stop. You know you didn't.
No, not 23.
You didn't. You only won 2020. That's it. And this past year. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, you're right there. Yeah.
That's it.
You're right there. Well, as long as y'all didn't sweep us, I don't care.
2 times that Lamar Jackson was hurt, Joe Burrow had his little fantastic.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Cool run.
Okay. Well, let me say like this. I don't like you Ravens, right? I don't like the flock of dodo birds. I call you the dodo birds, right? Because you're soon to be extinct, right? I don't like you Ravens. I never have liked you Ravens, right? I don't like your purple. I don't like your birds. I don't like your field. I don't like your stadium. I don't like the seats. I don't like your concession stands. I don't like your parking lot. I don't like anything about you Ravens, right? However, you are the biggest pain in our asses in our division. And you probably will remain to be the biggest pain in our asses in that division. And it'll probably go down to Ravens and Steelers again in the division some way, somehow, and during the season.
Yeah, week 18, like usual. Because you guys potentially might rob us in week 13 like y'all did in week 14 this past year. Who knows?
Yeah, check this out. I don't have control of the whistles. Don't have control of this. Don't have control of that.
Coach, I didn't say you did. I didn't say you did. That's a different context. What's wrong? You got something to get off your chest?
Nah. We don't have control. All I'm saying is I don't have control.
Mic? You got a headset? You got a mic?
All that, I ain't got control, right? So I ain't got control. You know what I mean? So, but I have to say, I think it's going to be a very entertaining season for both teams. Do it as though our coaching staffs are new. I think we're going to learn a lot about our coaching staff.
Facts.
I think it's going to be some crashing out, certain points, some celebration, popping champagne at other points. So I think it's going to be a very entertaining season in the AFC North, especially for the Ravens and Steelers fans. Because long because you can say what you want. Both of us are spoiled with as far as have a high bar set for our team. Like the mediocrity shit just don't cut it with us. Like it just don't. Like Ravens, Cincinnati Browns fans, they're okay with just making the playoffs and shit like that. That don't go for Pittsburgh Steelers and Ravens fans stuff. That just making this shit do not cut the mustard. if you're not
No.
making a competitive run deep into the playoffs. So it's going to be an exciting season. Can't wait till our draft show. Can't wait till the draft. And it's football, baby. Strap up and wrap up what you don't want broke up.
That's right. I can't wait to get back to the draft. We will release a date here coming for April, probably the weekend before the draft. That way, it gives us a week's time so we can discuss a little bit and look at all of our teams in the AFC North. Well, the two that are important, at least, the Ravens and the Steelers. And thank you guys. Kody, thank you for coming. I know you had to hop out early due to some other business, but we will gladly invite you back for the draft preview. And Common obviously was going to send out to our couple friends who were also AFC North rivals. We have friends who are Bengals fans and the Browns fans, and we want to get them in here to talk the draft with us so that way we are all caught up on what draft needs that we think all our teams are going to attack. But Coach, Baggs, thank you guys for joining me. Coach, why don't you send us out? Get us ready for next time.
Y'all already know what it is. It's Coach Common. I'm 6'4", 280 pounds. I don't move so easy, baby. Not Move Podcast. Lock in, lock out. Strap up and wrap up what you don't want broke up. It's football, baby. Peace.
This non-casual podcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or reused without the authorized written consent of the Not Move Podcast Network. Thank you, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.